both of y'all are up fucking F. It's the worst shit that I could have ever had put together. Two goddamn big ass children. Fucking idiots.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering.
America.
Welcome to the eulogy, eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to This Week in DUMBmocracy, where we showcase some of the dumbest newsmakers of the week, and boy, oh boy, Houston, do you have a problem. And no, I'm not talking about the Astros. I'm talking about Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee and some audio leaked from a phone call with some staffers. And boy, oh boy, hide the kids for this one. It's about to get explicit. But before we get to the video and some of the apologists for Sheila Jackson Lee's inexcusable behavior, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any shows, and if you like what you see and hear in this video, please smash that thumbs up button, like, comment, share this show with your friends, all that good stuff. This is going to be a fun one, guys, and we need some fun in our lives lately, so why not poke some fun and mock Sheila Jackson Lee for this very, very out of control phone call that was leaked by Current Revolt. I saw it on Twitter and man, I couldn't believe my ears. If you have anyone in the room like children who may not be used to some adult words, it might be time for some earmuffs. This is a recording from Current Revolt, a blog that's very prominent on Twitter that features Sheila Jackson Lee talking business with a staffer. Buckle up.
You took a piece of paper from that woman regarding something that was over at Duncan Tail. Where is it? What date was it?
All from yes. Jerome took it upstairs. I'd have to call him. He took it up when I switched out the papers. I'll call him as soon as you get here.
I don't want you to do a goddamn thing. I want you to have a fucking brain. I want you to have read it. I want you to say, Congresswoman, it was such and such date. That's what I want. That's the kind of staff that I want to have. So some stupid other motherfucker did it, and I don't have the information. Nobody sent me the information. I need to ensure my schedule. And, if Boo-Boo did it, shit-ass did it, fuckface did it, and nobody knows a goddamn thing in my office.
What the hell is going on?
Oh, man. You kiss your mother with that mouth? My goodness. The tirade. The tearing down here of a staffer for not knowing a date for an event? Really? This is what you do? This is the reaction?
Okay, nothing. I gave it to you. Your job was to get it on the calendar, imprint it in your brain, or send me the information back saying, Congresswoman, I made sure that the Ovi Duncan Tell event that you gave me for so-and-so date at 7 is on the fucking calendar. Not to, Jerome has it. Okay? So when I called Jerome, he's going to be sitting up there like a fat-ass, stupid idiot talking about what the fuck he doesn't know.
Jerome. What? Why bring Jerome into this? What did Jerome do to deserve that? Oh, man, poor Jerome. I feel bad. This being leaked down on a call, Jerome sitting somewhere in an office, hearing this, doesn't know about it. Maybe someone told him about it. Oh, poor Jerome.
Okay? Both of y'all are a fucking F. It's the worst shit that I could have ever had put together.
That was uncalled for.
Well, okay, but whose fault is that, Congresswoman? You put it together. This is your staff.
Two goddamn big ass children. Fucking idiots. Serve no goddamn purpose.
And that's how you improve morale.
I didn't think it could get worse. It's getting worse. What in the heck is going on? Would you put up with this if this was your boss talking to you? Let me know in the comments.
Ain't managing nobody. Nobody's respecting them. Nobody gives a shit about what you're doing. And you ain't doing shit. And this is an example of it. I gave it to Jerome. This is not child's work. Okay?
All because of a date for her calendar. Could you imagine if this was something important like, I don't know, a speech at a committee hearing or proposed legislation that they wanted to submit or something like that? Could you imagine the reaction if there was a comma out of place or if something wasn't put in the right place, or God forbid, Jerome got it?
Jerome.
This is something. But apparently this is an open secret about Sheila Jackson Lee. According to sources, she has very high turnover in staff, and gee, I wonder why. While this is certainly enough buffoonery for a video that we can discuss for a few more minutes more beyond this, I want to talk about the hypocrisy from people on the left, specifically The View, who kind of laughed this off and blamed the staff for this inexcusable berating. Like what you see so far? Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Also, leave us a comment and tell us what you're thinking. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another show. Now, I want you to imagine for a minute that this was a Republican berating a staffer, like, I don't know, Donald Trump. Or maybe Tucker Carlson talking to someone at an event, or someone like a staffer on a hot mic or something like that. I don't know. Something like the whole Bill O'Reilly thing from back in the day.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
And now I want you to imagine how a show like The View would have reacted to that Republican or that right-wing personality getting caught like that, and what they'd be saying. Got it in your head now? I guarantee you the vision you have in your head is shock and awe and gasping and clutching pearls by The View in reaction to a Republican acting so boorishly, right? Now I want you to look at the reaction to Sheila Jackson Lee, especially to Whoopi Goldberg here. I think what you're going to see is some tepid condemnation, but really justification for Sheila Jackson Lee's incredibly bad behavior. Take a look.
So there's a far-right blog called Current Revolt, and they released alleged audio of Democratic Texas Congresswoman and mayoral candidate Sheila Jackson Lee.
Look how we're starting off. Far-right blog, allegedly her. You see where it's going already, right?
Really letting her staff have it. I mean, she goes all out. She says all kind of words, a lot of bad words. People are really upset about it. Her former colleague, Adam Kinzinger, weighed in saying her treatment of staff has been an open secret. But when Lee's staff was asked to comment, they called it a political hit job. What to do, what to do.
They want to keep their job, so they're not going to confirm it, but someone who she was talking to must have been recording her. I mean, it is an open secret. I have friends that are, have worked for the Congressional Black Caucus, and they were like, oh yeah, that's Sheila. I was like, really? Speaking to people like that? I mean, and
oh, so that's just Sheila. That's how she is. That's how it goes. Yes, it's shocking to Sonny Hostin, apparently, but apparently it's not shocking to people in Congress. Sheila Jackson Lee's been around for a very long time, and now you know why she has such high staff turnover. It's completely ridiculous, but it's an open secret, and nobody does anything about it. It's just Sheila. Right. Imagine if Sheila was just a Republican.
it's hurtful, it's harmful, and that's why she has one of the highest turnover rates.
That's just me calling you terms of endearment.
Oh yeah, let's make jokes about it. Ha ha ha. But if this was Donald Trump, there'd be articles of impeachment brought up today.
Listen, I thought, and first of all, honestly, I cuss, okay? I cuss in 3 languages. If I'm drunk, I can do it in 5.
Yeah, yuck it up, ladies. This is ridiculous. Because it's Sheila Jackson Lee, a Democrat, they're sort of making light of things and they're not going hard in on her here. Now that's some real hypocrisy right there, in my opinion. But it's going to get worse, especially from Whoopi Goldberg.
But I think there's a difference between cussing and cussing somebody out, denigrating them. This was verbal abuse. This thing is so bad that we can't even play a little bit of it.
Well, we can't play a little bit of it because it's all blue.
It's all. It's emotional abuse. It's toxic. Frankly, if she was anything other than a congresswoman, she'd probably be taken to HR and fired. But since there's no speaker, who's going to censure her?
Again, making light of it. They did hit on some points. It was a tepid rebuke of her, but nothing compared to things that we've seen concerning Donald Trump or Tucker Carlson or any other right-wing personality or politician. It just doesn't compare.
My issue is this, is like, the arrogance, well, A, it's just wrong and it's just mean, but also the arrogance of doing it for so many years and just thinking you can get away with it and you won't get caught.
Yeah.
In any other business in America, corporate America, you could not talk to somebody like that and keep your job. And we need to have a little bit higher standards for Congress.
But that's why
Well, we have to be able to prove that it's her.
Yeah,
First
we do.
of all,
Allegedly
let's
her, but-
say it's
Well,
allegedly.
listen,
Let me tell you what she's saying. She said some staffers have worked for her for years, others have left and then come back. She says everybody that leaves gets greater and greater because of the experience they got. Her former intern is now running for her congressional seat and supports Jackson Lee's run for Houston's mayor. She'd be the first black woman to be mayor of Houston. I think it's you know, listen, being cussed out is sometimes part of how some of us grew up.
Here comes the cover right now. By the way, Whoopi Goldberg says that Jackson Lee allegedly said this. Well, guess what, Whoopi? Jackson Lee admitted to this. Let me show you the statement. So after the View segment, Sheila Jackson Lee's camp did come up with a statement. Here it is from Patrick Svitek, who is a political correspondent with the Texas Tribune. Let me see if I can get this in a bigger window here for you. Quote, I want to convey to the people of Houston that I strongly believe that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and that includes my own staff. Yeah, you really showed that, Congresswoman. I know that I am not perfect.
That's the understatement of the year.
I recognize that in my zeal to do everything possible to deliver for my constituents, I have in the past fallen short of my own standards, and there is no excuse for that. Typical political cover and apology language. I am passionate about serving my constituents. I want the best for all of them. At heart, I am someone who tells it straight. I know that as much as that is a strength, it can sometimes be a challenge to balance. But when I fall short, I want the people I represent to know that it is because I'm standing up for them, not me. To anyone who has listened to this recording with concern, I am regretful and hope you will judge me not by something trotted out by a political opponent that worked to exploit this and backed my extreme Republican supporters on the very day the polls open, but from what I've delivered to Houstonians over my years of public service.
Leaning on a little thick.
This is a right-wing hit job, folks. Don't judge me by my phone call with my staff. Don't judge me by my turnover of staff. Don't judge me because everyone's saying this is an open secret in politics that she treats people this poorly. Always remember, it's the right wing's fault. Many staff have worked in my office and many of them have gone on to bigger and better opportunities, just like Whoopi was saying in that quote, right? And others as well have returned to work with me again. Interns in my office leave with actual constituent service and legislative experience. I want each of them to know that the work we accomplish would never be possible without their hard work and dedication. Working as a public servant is demanding, but it is my calling. She is laying on the BS real thick. I expect excellence at all times, and I know that it is because of their commitment that I am able to fulfill my duties as an elected official. I will never forget the debt of gratitude I and so many others owe them. That's not what he was saying in this phone call. Hey, Jerome, listen. You're a screw-up. You're a layabout, you're an idiot, but we appreciate you. Just remember that. Moving forward, I want the people of Houston to know that my vision for our city as mayor is unwavering. I am dedicated to addressing the pressing issues that our community faces, blah, 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 turning it into a stump speech to try to do some more cover here. I am committed to making Houston a better place for all of us, and the sooner we can refocus on the issues we face instead of political attacks and stunts, the sooner we can achieve these goals. Folks, I ask you, how is it a right-wing conspiracy when, presumably, the recording came from inside Jackson Lee's own office? It wasn't like this far right-wing blog planted a bug on her phone or on the staffer's phone and is recording all these conversations. The calls came from inside the house, people. That's what you have to remember here. Let's return now to the View's apology tour for Sheila Jackson Lee.
When adult folks go off, especially women, when they go off, because they're not going to hit you. They're going to cuss you out. So, you know, I think if you are in an environment that is toxic for you, that you should leave it. You should leave it.
Lisa, I think the first thing this lady needs to do, because we're saying allegedly and we're saying all of this.
No, because they were saying allegedly because apparently no one can
the reason her office
The word you're looking for is verify, Whoopi. And as we've seen since this, it has been verified by Sheila Jackson Lee herself. But come on, even when it was released, you heard the voice on there. There was nothing deep fake about this. This was released intentionally by someone within the Jackson Lee camp. And as they say in the news, Republicans pounced.
The reason we're saying allegedly is because she is not being an adult and owning her. And she's not saying, yeah, you know what, I own it and I shouldn't speak to my staff this way.
And I'm going to get better and I'm going to get training.
She doesn't want to lie.
Are you kidding me? So it's not her at all, Whoopi Goldberg saying. Even before that statement came out, everyone knew it was her. Whoopi is running cover here. This is completely hypocritical, because if this was Donald Trump or any other right-wing personality, journalist, what have you, the condemnation would be palpable.
If you're in a situation that is like that, and there are other folks you can go and work for, then you should not stay.
I have to, you're right. I did that at the Justice Department. I had a female
I had a boss
supervisor
like
that
this
spoke
too.
to me like that, and I said, you cannot speak to me like that, and I transferred
But she
departments.
needs anger management to own it and maybe to resign if she's not going to clean it up.
Or maybe her staff needs to grow a couple of pair if this is actually what's going on, and say, ma'am, as I leave this job, I want you to know.
It's power dynamics, though.
Yeah, but you know what?
Absolutely right. There are these power dynamics. Understand how institutional politics works here. You have someone in office who's very, very powerful. They hire staffers who are in a power imbalance with them. They're trying to start their political career. How would it look institutionally if you were to bite the hand that feeds, go against the big dogs in your local party, in your county party, in your state party, and defy them? Do you think your career prospects are going to be any good? You think you're going to get any jobs out of it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not how this works. And by the way, in Congress, there is no HR. It's very hard to get transferred from one office to another if you're set in D.C. It doesn't work that way. Whoopi Goldberg is blaming the victim here. She's saying you shouldn't be wearing that dress because it attracted some attention. That's basically what she's saying here to these staffers. Completely hypocritical.
Power dynamics do not force you to stay in a place where you are being mistreated. I don't believe that you can, I don't believe that you should. You can go to people and say, how do I get out of here?
There's also no HR on Capitol Hill. As somebody who dealt with a lot of Capitol Hill, there is nowhere to go. You're not going to speak.
And it's very hard to get a transfer.
Whoopi just doesn't get it. I know that the rest of the view are trying to school her. I mean, my goodness, the blind leading the blind there. But come on, if this was a Republican, it would be those poor staffers, and good for them for leaking this recording and speaking out. There'd be no allegedly. There'd be none of that nonsense. They're running cover for Sheila Jackson Lee because she's a Dem. Bottom line, she's on their team. She's wearing their colors. That's what they're doing. They're playing partisan politics here. It's disgusting and completely buffoonish. But as I close this video, I just want to say again to Jerome, if you're watching, you matter. You're better than all this. Don't take this lying down. Step up and let everybody know you're not lazy. You're not sitting around. You're not an idiot. You're doing your job, and you're proud to do your job. Push back. Fight the powers that be, my friend. I stand with Jerome, and I hope you stand with Jerome too.
I'm glad you're here, Jerome.
But hey, that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think about this video. I hope you had fun watching it. Please be sure to comment. Let me know what you think about the whole thing. And while you're commenting, smash that thumbs up button. Like the show, share it with your friends, all that good stuff. And please, I hope today is the day that you choose to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for all other videos so you don't miss any. Let's continue having fun like this. Let's continue these conversations talking about all the shenanigans and buffoonery that's going on every day this week in DUMBmocracy.
All views and opinions expressed here are not necessarily of the mainstream media and may offend some listeners. It's called political buffoonery.